What's up? How are you doing? My name is Felium. As you can see today we're in a slightly different setting. We're actually in this guy's studio. They are an electronic music duo based in New Jersey, in Hoboken. They actually have a couple of songs out. We'll leave everything in the bio. Their name is Display Candle, and this is David.
What's going on, everybody?
And this is Paul.
What's good?
And today we're going to be talking about why you shouldn't be using so much expensive equipment, and you should kind of sample sounds from your everyday life in a very cheap way, like your phone, and how that can actually make your music sound so much better. So let's get right to this video. So the idea of this video actually came from them. They contacted me, and we actually make a lot of music together, and they said that they had this idea of recording different sounds around their house with their phone to show that you can make a really dope beat without actually spending that much money with like an everyday object like a phone. And they made this beat. Now they're going to talk a little bit of how they did it.
Alright, so for the kick drum, basically we started out by thinking of blunt sounds that we could create within our apartment, and I kind of thought it'd be a good idea to try punching several different, objects within the room. So I went into my bedroom and I punched my pillow, and basically this is the sound that it came out to. And it was a little bit dead, like, very dull, so I want to just clean it up, get rid of some of the highs, boost the low end, so I put on, a regular Ableton EQ8. Much more kick drum-like, I put on Trash 2, where I basically just boosted the lows with a tape saturator, and I distorted the highs. Already it had the bite of a kick drum, and then I added the SSL channel strip EQ from Waves, and this one really brought out the kick sound. So much tighter, much cleaner, and then one more EQ just to really bring it home. Now it has that thud and that bass. Alright, so basically for the snare, what we were thinking was, bright kind of sounds that we could make, but I also was thinking that I wanted the snare to be, like, very thin and have, like, a certain snap to it. That was just, like, the idea I had for the record. So I, tried lighting a lighter, the classic Lil Wayne sound.
It's pretty sexy, yeah.
Yeah, and then a little EQ on it, just because I only wanted it for the highs. Thought that sounded really cool. And then for the snap, I got a stapler, and together, this is what they sound like. And so now, I didn't think that was quite enough, so I put some EQ, some compression, a little bit closer. But what really brought it home was Isotope's plugin Trash 2. I actually used the preset for this one. I didn't get too crazy, but a little bit of distortion, and it ended up sounding like this. Not a very conventional snare, but altogether it worked well in the record. Alright, so for the hi-hats, I thought this one was going to be really easy, and it ended up being the most simple part of the song. Basically, I was thinking what type of items within my apartment could have like a very, very like high-pitched, resonant kind of sound that I could use. So I was playing with my keys to try and entertain Paul.
Yeah.
And and I ended up jingling them in front of him, and it came out to this, which I thought sounded kind of cool. I had a little bit of reverb on it, 2 EQs. I actually didn't do very much, and I just panned it all the way to the left. Here's with the EQs. Here's with the reverb. And then for the right pan hi-hat, because I decided to double it up to make it sound much wider, I just went into my kitchen and I flicked some tin foil. And I'll show you what that sounds like without. And I EQ'd out the lows. Already sounding more like a hi-hat. A little bit of distortion from trash. EQ again. And then the same reverb as the other track.
For this beat, we were trying to take the more natural route, sampling real life sounds, so I figured for the bass, instead of just using a synth, I would just record it on this electric bass here, and that's what I did. I didn't really write anything, I just kind of winged it. I usually wing my music, so I kind of just, I threw down a little just some simple stuff like that, and I thought, it sounds pretty cool. So since I recorded like a bass riff, I figured that I would just also throw little guitar elements on top of it, just, to add more I guess natural textures to it. So it was pretty simple, just like
So, David, why do you think it's so important that people stop focusing on spending so much money on important equipment and actually use samples like this?
Yeah, so basically, whenever I talk to up-and-coming producers, usually they complain about the lack of equipment that they have, and I see that this is a common trend that people have been, that I've seen coming on the rise, and I've seen it increasing, and I want people to understand that you don't actually need expensive equipment to make good music. Music can be made with the things that are all around us, pretty much. And honestly, sampling is something that can really elevate your music. Everybody forgets that, the simple sounds that you hear in your everyday life could actually be very, very interesting, percussive, or even melodic things to add to your tracks. And we don't do it enough, and it just helps boost your creativity overall.
And you, Paul, you actually own a Tascam, and I've seen you going to the city or to different places to actually record different samples. How do you say that affects your music, and how does it affect your creativity?
Well, it's just when you record your own samples, no one else has it. It makes you, that's pretty much, the most unique way to, find samples, because it's not online. You can't just download it from, a sample pack, so it gives you your own sound, I think, and that can be, it leads to lots of, creative ideas and stuff.
And just to give an idea, what kind of sounds do you sample for, and what kind of things do you use it for?
Well, everything, I get lots of percussion stuff, if you, just, bang a metal gate or something, or throw a rock in the water, you can get really cool stuff. And sometimes, for synths, too, if you find, tonal sounds, a baby crying or something, you could throw it in a sampler and, turn it into a synth or something, so.
Cool. Yeah. And that's it for today's video. Thank you, David and Paul and Display Candle, for helping me with this video. We're actually going to put the links to my songs and also their songs in the bio.
No problem, man. No problem.
So thanks for the video.
Also, everybody drop a comment right now of what things you're more interested in sampling after watching this video, whether it be tonal sounds, melodic sounds, or even just regular percussive sounds you hear in your day-to-day life. So everybody drop a comment.
Smash that like button, yo.
Just smash it.
Crush it, demolish it, destroy it.
Also subscribe if you would like to see more content of not only me explaining to you guys how to get better as producers, but also working with other people like Display Candle and as well maybe other producers or again with them. We're actually going to post the shorter version of this video in our Instagram, so you can also check it over there. So yeah, right here you're going to see our Instagrams right now. And we'll see you next time. Peace!
Good.
Peace.